Change your heart, change your life, change the planet.
Hey everybody, it's Tim Van Orden, and today I want to talk about prediction error and how that relates to working out in bad weather. When I woke up this morning, it was in the mid-30s and raining, and there was no part of me that wanted to go out in that and run. But within about an hour and a half, I was out the door and on the Appalachian Trail, running up a really steep climb in the rain and loving it. And I'll tell you how I did that. Our brains predict how we're going to feel when we engage in something. So when we wake up and we look outside and it's a rainy, gray, cold day, our brain makes a prediction based on past experience. And the conclusion that it generally comes to is, we're not going to enjoy that. But the brain makes a lot of prediction errors, especially when it comes to weather. Now, if I were to stand outside and simply get wet and not do anything at all, then yeah, I probably would not be happy. I'd rather be inside doing nothing and dry than outside doing nothing and wet. But what my brain didn't factor into the equation that it was using to make this prediction was the fact that I was going to be moving my body and doing so in a natural environment. Two things that are known to change your brain state and put you in a very positive state space. And the conscious part of me knows this, but the part of my brain that's making that prediction doesn't. It's just thinking about the difference in temperature and wetness related to what I'm doing right now. So when it's making this prediction, it's factoring in your current level of activity or engagement, which is none. I'm sitting and thinking about going outside and getting wet and cold. And in that equation, obviously staying inside is going to win. But if I consciously add movement in a natural environment into that equation, which this predictive engine is completely ignoring, well then I can take a look and say, it may not feel okay at first, but I'm not going to be sitting still in that environment. I'm going to be moving and it's going to be beautiful. And that's what I did today. I had that initial predictive, but then I got outside and really slowly put myself in motion in the midst of the rain. And within about 10 minutes, I was having the time of my life. And it was actually a really, really powerful run. I had some great thoughts out there and interacted with a wonderful new book about this very thing called The Nature Fix. So if you find yourself in a situation, which I think is pretty common, where you're using the weather as a reason or excuse not to go outdoors, keep in mind that your brain is making a prediction and it's factoring in your current level of activity. So you need to remind it that you're not just going to be sitting still, getting cold and wet. You're going to be moving and you're going to be taking in the beauty and enrichment of a natural environment. And it's going to be a net positive experience. So try that if you're having a rough time. I'm so glad that I did today. And it's really making me reconsider my thoughts about moving to Portland, Oregon. Because every time I think about it, my brain makes the prediction, wet and dark for 5 months out of the year. No, I don't think so. But today, I was out on a wet, cold, dark day, and I loved it. So if I actually look at all the runs I've taken on wet, cold, dark days, I've enjoyed every single one of them. So when my brain thinks about moving to Portland and it comes up with, clearly it's not factoring movement and the experience that it brings about into that equation. All right? So I hope there's some value in there for you. Let me know in the comments below what your experience is with the gloom and doom of fall and winter and how you go about getting out into it. And finally, a big thanks to those of you supporting this channel on Patreon. And for those of you that are not yet there, head on over to Patreon, $1 or $2 a month, and you help me make more content like this. All right? Hugely appreciated. All right, I'll see you soon. Bye.